Have you ever wondered why some people in their 70s or 80s still seem to have the energy of someone half their age, while others struggle with basic daily tasks? What if I told you that the secret isn't just about diet or genetics, but something much more accessible and powerful than either of those things? It's about movement. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, "Oh great, another video telling me I need to exercise," hear me out. This isn't about hitting the gym for hours or chasing some unrealistic version of youth. This is about making smart, simple choices. Choices that protect your body, sharpen your mind, and give you the freedom to enjoy life on your own terms. Let's talk numbers for a moment, not because I love statistics, but because they tell a story we can't afford to ignore. According to research from the National Institute on Aging, inappropriate physical activity among seniors increases hospitalization rates by nearly 50%. That's not a small number. It's a wake-up call. And here's the kicker. Some of the most popular exercises promoted as healthy are actually doing more harm than good for older adults. High-impact running, heavy weightlifting, and explosive movements like jump squats might work wonders for younger bodies, but for those of us over 65, they can quietly set the stage for injury, pain, and even life-threatening situations. But don't let that discourage you. The flip side of this truth is empowering. When you choose the right kinds of movement, your body responds in incredible ways. You can boost your heart health, improve your balance, preserve your independence, and even strengthen your memory, all without putting yourself at risk. So where do we begin? Let's start with what not to do. First up, high-impact running. Now, I know some of you may have been runners all your life. Maybe you've completed marathons or are used to jogging every morning without a second thought. But here's the reality. As we age, our joints become less forgiving, our bones lose density, and our cardiovascular system becomes more sensitive to sudden strain. A study published in the Journal of Orthopedic and Sports Physical Therapy found that high-impact running increases the risk of knee and hip injuries in adults over 65 by a staggering 58%. Every time your foot hits the pavement, especially on hard surfaces, you're sending shockwaves through your body. Over time, these add up. And if you've already noticed stiffness or discomfort in your knees or lower back, it's a sign your body is trying to tell you something. This isn't about giving up on movement altogether. It's about adapting. Your goal now isn't to push harder, it's to move smarter. Replace pounding the pavement with brisk walking on softer terrain, swimming, or cycling. These options offer the same cardiovascular benefits without the joint trauma. Next, let's talk about heavy weightlifting. I'm sure you've seen those inspiring stories online about seniors deadlifting hundreds of pounds. While impressive, these feats aren't realistic or safe for most older adults. As we age, our tendons become less flexible, our muscles lose elasticity, and our hearts become more vulnerable to sudden spikes in blood pressure. The American Geriatric Society warns that lifting heavy weights can lead to dangerous increases in blood pressure, putting seniors at higher risk for strokes or heart-related incidents. Even if you feel strong, there's no way to predict how your body will react under extreme strain, especially if you have undiagnosed heart issues. That doesn't mean you should stop building strength altogether. On the contrary, maintaining muscle mass is essential as you age. We'll get into safer alternatives later, but for now, understand that heavy lifting is not worth the risk. Finally, let's address plyometric exercises, those explosive moves like box jumps, burpees, and jump squats. They're often marketed as fun, dynamic workouts that keep you feeling young. But for seniors, they can be downright dangerous. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reports that falls are the leading cause of injury and death among older adults. Plyometric movements increase fall risk dramatically, especially since balance and reflexes naturally decline with age. One misstep during a jump could result in a serious fracture, sprain, or head injury, and recovery gets harder with each passing year. The good news? There are plenty of safer, smarter ways to stay active and maintain strength, flexibility, and vitality. In the next part, we'll dive into the first of 3 essential exercises that are specifically designed for seniors, exercises that support longevity, mobility, and confidence without putting your body at unnecessary risk. Before we move forward, I want to ask you something. How many times have you ignored an ache or pushed through a twinge of pain just to finish a workout? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Many of us were raised to believe that pushing through discomfort was a sign of strength. But now, as we grow wiser with age, it's time to redefine what strength really means. It's not about how fast you run or how much you lift. It's about making choices today that allow you to live fully tomorrow. Let's take a closer look at the first of our 3 essential exercises, brisk walking. If you're thinking, walking? That's it? You're not alone. Many people assume that walking is too simple to make a real difference in health, especially as we age. But I'm here to tell you that when done right, brisk walking is one of the most powerful tools you have for maintaining your independence, boosting your heart health, and even sharpening your mind. Let me share a quick story with you. A few years ago, I met a woman named Grace at a community center where I used to teach fitness classes. She was 74, had high blood pressure, and walked with a slight limp. She told me she hadn't walked more than a few blocks in years because her legs always felt heavy and sore. But after starting a daily brisk walking routine, just 20 minutes a day, 5 days a week, she came back 6 weeks later with a smile from ear to ear. Her energy had improved, her blood pressure had dropped, and she said she could finally keep up with her grandchildren without getting winded. Grace's experience isn't unique. In fact, research consistently shows that regular brisk walking can be life-changing for seniors. According to a long-term study published by Harvard Medical School, older adults who walk briskly on a regular basis can reduce their risk of death from all causes by up to 41%. That's an incredible number, especially when you consider how accessible and low risk this activity is compared to other forms of exercise. So what exactly makes brisk walking so effective? First, it's excellent for cardiovascular health. As you walk at a steady pace, your heart rate increases just enough to challenge your cardiovascular system without putting undue stress on it. This helps improve circulation, lower blood pressure, and strengthen your heart muscle over time. Unlike high-impact running or intense cycling, brisk walking keeps your heart working within a safe, beneficial range. Second, it supports joint health. When you walk on softer surfaces like grass, dirt trails, or even a treadmill, you give your joints a break from the hard impact of daily movement while still keeping them active and lubricated. Walking encourages flexibility and can actually help reduce stiffness in the knees and hips, especially when paired with gentle stretching before and after. Third, brisk walking boosts brain function. A fascinating study from the University of California, Irvine, found that regular walking increases blood flow to the brain, which helps protect against cognitive decline. It also stimulates the release of neurochemicals like serotonin and dopamine, those feel-good hormones that help reduce stress and improve mood. And let's not forget the emotional benefits. Brisk walking gives you time to clear your head, enjoy nature, or catch up with a friend. It's a form of movement that doesn't isolate you. It connects you to the world around you. Whether you're strolling through your neighborhood, walking laps around a local mall, or joining a senior walking group, each step you take is helping you build both physical and emotional resilience. Now, let's talk about how to do it right. Brisk walking isn't just about taking a leisurely stroll. To get the full benefit, you want to walk at a pace that raises your heart rate slightly, enough that you feel a bit warmer and breathe a little harder, but not so much that you're gasping for air. A good rule of thumb is the talk test. If you can speak in short sentences but wouldn't want to sing a song, you're at the right intensity level. Start small, maybe 15 to 20 minutes a day, and gradually increase your time as your stamina improves. Wear supportive shoes with good cushioning, stay hydrated, and choose safe, flat paths whenever possible. If balance is a concern, use a cane or walk with a partner for added stability. The key is consistency. You don't need to do it all at once either. You can split your walking into 2 shorter sessions if that works better for your schedule. As you make brisk walking a habit, you'll likely notice improvements not just in your physical strength, but in your confidence, sleep quality, and overall outlook on life. But while brisk walking builds endurance and heart health, there's another essential exercise that addresses a danger many seniors face every day, one that often goes unnoticed until it's too late. In the next part, we'll explore this hidden threat and introduce the second essential exercise that could literally save your independence. Before we dive into the third essential exercise, I want to take a quick moment to connect with you. If you've made it this far into the video, I know you're serious about living a longer, stronger, and more independent life, and I deeply admire that commitment. If you haven't already, please consider hitting that like button, subscribing to this channel, and turning on the notification bell. We're creating content specifically designed for people like you, seniors who are ready to take control of their health, vitality, and joy in the golden years. Now, let's continue building your foundation for lifelong strength with the second essential exercise: balance training. Balance might not be the first thing you think about when it comes to fitness, but for seniors, it's absolutely vital. Why? Because as we age, our body's natural ability to maintain balance begins to decline. This isn't just about walking steadily, it's about protecting yourself from one of the most common and dangerous threats seniors face: falls. Falls aren't just a minor inconvenience. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, falls are the leading cause of injury-related deaths among adults aged 65 and older. In fact, 1 out of every 4 seniors experiences a fall each year, and many of those falls result in serious injuries like hip fractures or head trauma. But here's the good news: balance can be trained, improved, and even restored at any age. Let me share a story with you. I once met a gentleman named Carl at a senior wellness fair. He was 71 and had started noticing that he wobbled more when he walked, especially on uneven ground. He told me he had tripped over a rug at home and bruised his elbow. It wasn't a major injury, but it scared him. He said, "I don't want to live in fear of falling." So he began doing simple balance exercises every day, standing on one leg while brushing his teeth, practicing heel-to-toe walks in his hallway, and even joining a local Tai Chi class twice a week. After just 6 weeks, he noticed a big difference. His confidence returned, his posture improved, and he could walk through crowded stores without feeling anxious. Best of all, he felt more in control of his own body again. Carl's experience isn't unique. In fact, studies have shown that regular balance training can reduce the risk of falls by up to 37% in older adults. That's a powerful number, and it means that something as simple as dedicating a few minutes a day to balance work can make a dramatic difference in your safety and independence. So what exactly should you be doing? Here are 3 beginner-friendly balance exercises you can start today. 1. Single leg stands. Stand behind a sturdy chair and hold on to the backrest for support. Lift 1 foot off the ground and hold the position for 10 seconds. Switch legs. As you get stronger, try increasing the time or doing it without holding on. This trains your ankle stability and strengthens the small muscles that keep you upright. 2. Heel-to-toe walk. Imagine you're walking on a tightrope. Place the heel of one foot directly in front of the toes of your other foot as you walk forward. Take 20 slow, controlled steps. This helps improve coordination and trains your brain to communicate better with your feet and legs. 3. Tai Chi movements. Tai Chi is often called meditation in motion, and for good reason. Its slow, flowing movements help build strength, flexibility, and balance, all while calming the mind. Many community centers and senior centers offer free or low-cost Tai Chi classes tailored for older adults. These exercises may seem simple, but they pack a powerful punch when done consistently. And the best part? You don't need any special equipment or a gym membership. All you need is a bit of space and a willingness to invest in your future self. As you work on your balance, remember that it's not just about preventing falls, it's also about regaining your confidence. The less afraid you are of falling, the more freely you'll move, the more active you'll stay, and the healthier you'll feel overall. And speaking of staying healthy, there's another key piece of the puzzle we haven't covered yet, one that affects nearly every senior, but is often overlooked until it's too late. Now that we've covered the first 2 essential exercises, brisk walking and balance training, it's time to complete your foundation for lifelong strength with the 3rd and final essential exercise: light resistance training. You might be thinking, resistance training? Isn't that just another word for weightlifting? And I get it. When most people hear the term, they imagine heavy barbells, bulging muscles, and intense gym sessions. But for seniors, especially those over 65, resistance training doesn't have to mean heavy weights or exhaustion. In fact, done right, it can be one of the most empowering tools in your wellness toolkit. Let me explain why. As we age, our bodies naturally begin to lose muscle mass, a process called sarcopenia. This isn't just about looking a little thinner. It's about losing the very strength that allows you to live independently. Without enough muscle, simple tasks like carrying groceries, standing up from a chair, or even walking across the room become harder, and eventually they may feel impossible. Light resistance training helps fight this decline by stimulating muscle fibers, encouraging them to stay strong and active. It doesn't require heavy lifting or hours in a gym. You can do it safely at home using light dumbbells, resistance bands, or even your own body weight. Let's take a look at some real-world benefits. A study published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity found that seniors who engaged in moderate resistance training twice a week saw significant improvements not only in muscle strength, but also in balance, bone density, and mental clarity. That's right, working your muscles helps your brain too. When you move your body, blood flow increases to your brain, which supports memory, focus, and emotional well-being. One of my favorite stories comes from a man named Henry, who started doing light arm curls and seated leg lifts at home after watching one of our early videos. He was 72 and had been struggling to lift his grandchild without feeling pain in his shoulders. After just 8 weeks of consistent, gentle resistance work, he told me he could hold his grandson again and even play catch with him in the yard. That's the kind of transformation I want for all of us. So, what does light resistance training actually look like? Here are 3 beginner-friendly movements you can start today. 1. Seated resistance band rows. Sit tall in a sturdy chair with a resistance band looped around both feet. Hold the ends of the band and pull it toward your waist, squeezing your shoulder blades together. Slowly release and repeat. This strengthens your back and improves posture. 2. Wall push-ups. Stand facing a wall and place your hands on it at shoulder height. Lean forward into the wall, then push yourself back upright. This is an excellent way to build upper body strength without putting pressure on your joints. 3. Chair-assisted squats. Stand in front of a chair and use the backrest for support. Lower yourself as if you're going to sit down, then stand back up. Repeat this movement slowly and with control. It builds strength in your legs and hips, making daily activities easier. The key here is consistency, not intensity. You don't need to break a sweat or strain your muscles. Just aim for smooth, controlled movements and gradually increase the number of repetitions as you feel stronger. Now, let's recap everything we've covered so far. Brisk walking keeps your heart healthy, boosts your mood, and sharpens your mind. Balance exercises protect you from falls, the #1 cause of injury among seniors. And light resistance training preserves your muscle strength, allowing you to live independently and confidently. Together, these 3 exercises form a powerful trio that supports your body, mind, and spirit. They aren't just about staying fit, they're about staying free. If there's one thing I hope you take away from this video, it's this. You're never too old to grow stronger, move better, and live more fully. And now, I'd love to invite you to take one small but meaningful action. Right now, before you close this video, write down one thing you'll try this week based on what we've discussed. Maybe it's a short walk around the block. Maybe it's practicing standing on one leg while brushing your teeth. Or maybe it's grabbing a couple of soup cans and doing a few arm curls in your living room. Whatever it is, commit to it. And then come back next week, ready to build on your progress. If you enjoyed this video and want more content like this, please hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. Your support means the world to me, and I'm honored to be on this journey with you. Thank you so much for watching. I truly believe that with the right choices, every day can be a step toward a longer, stronger, and more joyful life. Until next time, keep moving forward with purpose, with pride, and with confidence.